Hello, welcome to my Thursday afternoon Facebook Live. I wasn't here last week to share with you, but I am this week. Last week I had the most amazing time going to our Stampin' Up convention, and at that convention we saw and received the new catalogue. I can give you a look at the front of the catalogue, but that is all, which is, as always, full of deliciousness. And these are some of the new InColours that are in the new catalogue. And this was one of the projects I made while we were there. And it uses this new stamp set that's in the catalogue called Impressions A Bloom. And this stamp set actually has corresponding dies, which I haven't used yet and haven't mounted on magnets like I normally do and haven't labelled. But I thought it would be nice to show you. It has these beautiful ovals and outline and detailed dies for all of the flowers and some extra leafy bits, and I do love leaves. This is the stamp set, Impressions of Bloom. Has some solid images, like so you can fill in your images, and some line detail images, leaves and flowers and whatnot. It's actually a lot of fun to use, and we used that while I was in Brisbane at the event. Okay, this card originally was, hello everyone who's joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. I was going to say, this card originally, the design for this card originally was a scrapbook page, and I adapted it to make a card, which I just found easier at the event. But it actually includes lots of lovely stamping, and today I should tell you the names of the colours, see if I can remember. This one is Cloud Cover, and it's a beautiful blue. While you can get the cardstock, when the catalogue comes out, you won't be able to get the ink, because Stampin' Up are all about quality control, and the quality of the ink hasn't met their standards. However, the cardstock is lovely. This colour here is Secret Sea, and then this one is Darling Duckling. And then this one I'm going to use on my card is Timid Tiger. And then the other colour that I haven't got in my collection here, which you might have guessed if you know me well, is a pink, Strawberry Slush, which is actually a returning colour. We've had Strawberry Slush in our happy stamping lives before. So I've made this one here. We used Garden Green and the Cloud Cover and the Secret Sea. But today I thought I'd use Granny Apple Green as my card base and the Timid Tiger as my feature panel here with the Darling Duckling, and use them as my stamping bits and pieces. These ones are for inside the card, so I don't need them. So as you can see by the layout of the card, there's this diagonal element. So I'm going to focus all of my stamping on the top half of the diagonal line of my background piece. I don't know why I've got, oh, I know what that's for, the thanks. Lucky I remembered. Okay, now I haven't actually opened my ink pads. If you follow me, you may have seen that I'm going to do an unboxing after this at 3:30. So this is from my pre-order, because we went to the onstage event. We were allowed to order early. So I've got all the ink pads and the cardstock. So Timid Tiger. Just in case you didn't know, when you order ink pads, on the back there are stickers that you can remove to put onto the front of your ink pads. There's this little turned over piece of sticker here telling you this is where to lift up. Okay, you can lift up the sticker, and you can remove that whole thing off the back of your back of your ink pad. Sometimes I don't bother, I'm too lazy. But this is what I want in here, this one that says Timid Tiger. But today I'm taking it off because it's gone. It's off. Pop that in the bin. So here's my Timid Tiger. And I always put the name label on the front of my ink pad. And then there's a clear one here, no words on it. And I like to put that one on the side of my ink pad. And there is actually space in here to put another one, but I'm slightly inept when it comes to doing that. So I just put the other Timid Tiger, there's 2 English ones, on the other side. Now the idea of the space in there is that you can see what colour it is when you've got the ink pad open, but I figure you should be able to see those 2 on either side of the ink pad, okay, when you open it. Rightio. Now this one here, Darling Duckling. When I pulled off when I opened it, the thing came off, but I've got Darling Duckling for the front of my ink pad. There we are. Now you will notice sometimes, and especially with some of my ink pads, that these stickers do fade and sometimes the covers fade, but the actual ink itself always stays true, which is rather wonderful. And that's why Stampin' Up are definitely pursuing the improvement of the cloud cover ink pad, because they want it to be correct. So, okay, there's our Darling Duckling. All right, I'll open that up as well. All right, next thing, these are going to be very, very juicy ink pads because they're brand spanking new. Okay, load up my stamps. I've got this little tiny one here and this little tiny one here. And this one here, I might put you on this large block here. And which other one did we use? This little one here. And actually I'll put you on a bigger block because I also need to load up this leaf here. There we go, and thanks. There we go. I believe that's all of the images I need to load up. And I'm going to start with my biggest flowers first. And I think I better put a bit of scrap paper underneath so I can make a mess and it won't get on my work. Okay, and I'm going to use the largest flower with the Darling Duckling and just stamp randomly down my sheet. Is 3 enough? Maybe I'll put one more there and one more there. Now, some of that will be covered up, of course. Okay, I'm going to clean that up. Then I'm going to do my smaller flower using the Timid Tiger. 1, 2, another one just there. And the Timid Tiger is slightly darker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now I'm going to do the alternate centers on my flowers. Okay, so the Darling Duckling on my Timid Tiger flowers. And because this stamp set is a photopolymer stamp, lines up very nicely. Oops. Especially when you look at what you're doing, lines up very nicely. That center has a lot darker color on it. Okay, so there's all my little flower centers and then my larger flower centers. The other thing about this stamp set too is actually quite a forgiving stamp set. Now, if you wanted to get highly technical or go even further, you could. Let's have a go doing that. I've got a flower. Go, and I haven't used these stamps yet. Didn't use them at the event. So I could stamp with my solid image. I wonder if I have to line that up. Possibly. I wonder if I know which way it is. Nope. The other way looked pretty good, didn't it? Okay. Maybe I should have practiced this before I do it. Stamp off. And then stamp on, and you've got a filled in floral image. Okay. Stamp off, stamp on. I'm not entirely sure whether I've lined these up properly. I found the long flower. Stamp off, stamp on. And look, I'm pretty sure I haven't lined it up properly, but it looks okay. Looks quite okay. And then swap you with this one and do stamping off and on with my Timid Tiger. So stamp off. Okay. Stamp off, stamp on, stamp off, stamp on. Have you ever been doing this and then forgotten to stamp off and stamp straight onto the thing? I have. Man, it gives you a fright when you're not expecting it and all this deep colour comes on. You go, whoops. But so far, so good today. Okay, there we go. Flowers have got extra dimension because they've got the 2-layer. Rightio, so I can put away my Timid Tiger and my Darling Duckling. If I keep saying them, it'll help me remember. And then for my leaves, I've got my Granny Apple Green, which I forgot to cut out. Here's my Granny Apple Green. Just going to add leaves. 1, 2, and they don't really need any extra stamping because they have plenty of colour. This stamp set has lots of really awesome detail in the actual stamps themselves. Texture and movement. Okay, have I got enough leaves? Let's see what it looks like with my Timid Tiger over the top. I want leaves down here, down there, and let's have a look. Is that enough green? Is there ever enough green? I think I'm going to put a leaf just in here, in the middle. There we are. And last of all, I need to stamp my thanks. And actually, I am going to use the Granny Apple Green for my thanks. Okay, there we are. That's all the stamp. Oh no, the stamping's not all done because I didn't do the inside. Ooh. I like to get it all done all at the same time, thinking it's probably more efficient. Not sure whether it actually is or not, but I'm going to stamp on and off with that one. And open my Timid Tiger again, stamp on and off. They look different without the detailed, whoops, floral images in them, don't they? Another one down there. Okie dokie. Now my little centers. One there and one there. And this little guy. One there and one there. There. Oops. Lining it up again. There we go. And some leaves now. And I think I will have to do the detail. We'll get to see what the difference is between putting them on the background stamp first or the other one first. Okay, a couple of leaves because you've got to have green. Green is everything. It's such a happy colour. I do like the combination of the Darling Duckling and the Timid Tiger, I have to say. Rightio, now change this one over for this one, and that is Darling Duckling, and just line it up with that, and line it up with that. There we are. And then I think my other flowers over here. Timid Tiger. I'm using the centers to line it up. I'm not entirely sure which way they should go. I'm sure there is a specific way. There we go. All of the stamping is done, and we can close up our Darling Duckling, Timid Tiger, and start sticking it all together. Look, that's pretty. Doesn't that remind you of, if you're alive in the 70s? Very, very retro colours, those ones, I believe. We used to have, in one of the rentals when I was first a teacher, we had little Laminex, that colour, in the kitchen. My goodness. And there used to be toilets in that colour as well. I think we've come a long way in the world since then. Although some people do like the retro look. There we go, there's my inside panel with a little bit of space to write to my recipient. Now I'm going to pop this one onto my card front. This is a great technique just to cut. I cut both of my pieces of cardstock exactly the same size and then just chopped this one in half. So I have another piece of Timid Tiger exactly the same size. Oh my goodness. Right, I'll be trimming that and putting some liquid glue on this one. There we are. Oop. And stick you on there, butt it right up against it so that I keep my line nice and straight. Oops, 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 oops. Yuck. And then trim that. Trim and trim. And I'm going to trim this little bit because I didn't stick it on straight. But luckily it's not already on the card. So I can. There we are. And then I'm going to mount this on the front of my card with dimensionals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Thank you everyone who's joined me this afternoon. I hope you're getting some good ideas from this great little project idea we received when we were at, this is one of the projects at On Stage After Hours. Okay, and then my thanks, I'm going to flag the end of this. I'm going to do it the Cheats way and fold it over. And trim it. Fold it back so no one ever knows. And pop some dimensionals on the back of that. And then, it's very citrusy, isn't it? Pop you there. And let's have a look at, these are the, what are they called? InColours Flat Pearls. So there's your Secret Sea, your Cloud Cover, Timid Tiger, Darling Daffodil, and your Strawberry Slush. There. You can see which ones I've already used. I've got a couple of Timid Tigers that have stuck to my packet in here, so I might just rip you open and see if I can get them off with the mini glue dot intact. One there, yep. Waste not, want not. They're so sparkly and beautiful. No, that mini glue dot's still stuck on there. Okay, mini glue dot, gem, and one there. There we are. And one there. There we go. So, which is your favourite? The citrusy colours, I haven't put any sparkles on this one, or the Secret Sea and Cloud Cover. There's my project for today, and if you want to hang around, I'll be back in 10 minutes or so to do some more sneak peeks of some of the new products coming in our new catalogue and in our new online exclusives. Bye now.